Okay. So this is about 4-year-old cuckoo pressure cooker. I'm having that ECO message, so I kind of had partially open. Right, so I partially had this thing apart. This thing just pops out. It just pops out. And I decide to open this one up. This black knob unscrews. I'm gonna unplug this so I don't electrocute myself. To take this out, you have to lift up and turn because there is a threaded in the top section of it. So if you just spin it, it won't grab. So you gotta lift up, then spin it, then this pops out. Okay, then there's a C clip right here which I took out. Careful, because when you take this out, this rubber gasket has to come out first, like that. Then this thing, you get like a little pointy tools like this and pull away from the stem here. Be careful not to lose them. Then you're gonna have to take this handle off. There is a little notch right there. So you push that up and there's a little lock here. Pops out. Then there's a screw here, Phillips. You can just put it there. You can just put it there. Alright, so once you have this one out, then this handle pops out. So, okay, so alright, so under the cover there are 2 Phillips screws. I'm gonna remove that. There's another one on this side. Alright, so I got 2 screws out, one from here, one from here. Now I should be able to separate the top cover. So I'm gonna have a little flat screw, go all the way around. Now, locking tabs, so it sounds like it's breaking, but it's not. It's just releasing the tabs all the way around. So let's see, do that. Let me see if I can do this while taping it. Alright, so that separates. So I'm going to show you where the tabs are. So these are the tabs all the way across. So when you put the screwdriver, you are basically bending away from the main frame, and this cover comes off. So once you take this off, this is the little doodad that goes up and down right here. So there's that. Now the trouble is there are sensors right here. There's a one here, one here, one here, one there. So there's a total of 4 sensors here. I guess it monitors pressure, heat, whether the door's closed or not. So this one looks like it's monitoring the door being closed and open. Now if you look further back where the hinge part is, it's pretty common, I guess. The wires detached. This yellow wire that's also detecting whether the door's closed or not. So when you have this thing locked in, the pressure cooker knows that you did all the settings and doors cover, but since this wire's cut, it doesn't know whether the door is closed or not. So on mine, it's cut right here, but I guess that's the most common issue because it opens and closes like this hundreds of times, and over times they break. So this one is still attached, but it's about to break. And if you look on this side, the red wire, that's also about to break. So I'm going to solder them. Okay, so I have this heat shrink. Put it over. So I'm going to solder these 2 wires, actually 3 wires. The red one is almost broken. This yellow is almost broken. That's already detached. So I'm going to solder them on. Put a little tapper solder here. I don't want to cut too short, so I'm reusing same length of wire that's there. That's why it's not taking solder that much. It's been taken apart like this. Alright, so got that wire solder. And put this over. Use heat gun to heat shrink, or you can do this. So that's done. Hopefully this stays. So I'm going to do the same thing on this yellow wire and the red wire. I'll pause the video and I'll show you the rest of it later. Solder this yellow wire and the red wire together. Okay. I put heat shrink tube already, because you can't put the heat shrink obviously afterwards, so make sure you put the heat shrink. Pull up a little, get a little access. The right way obviously is to replace the wire with the sensor that's attached to it, but I don't know where I can get that, so I'm not doing that. That's a little bit too much. Alright, should go. Okay. Get up again. This part doesn't get hot, so it doesn't matter. The solder will not melt. All the heat is on the part of the cover anyway. And what I've noticed, I didn't know there was a little trap to the water. And there was a lot of gunk here, so I'm going to clean that. Okay, so that looks good. Let's push this one down a little bit. Seems okay. Hope it lasts. Okay. And what I've noticed is one time I had this lever popped out from this thing here, which is locking, and I couldn't lock it. I'm like, why isn't it locked? Why isn't it locked? Then I realized this thing popped out of this lever here, so that has to be in that cutout right here. So be sure to put that handle part onto this long lever here, otherwise it won't close like that. I was like struggling to see why, and I found out this thing popped out and I separated it. So that's about it. So I'm going to reverse everything back to normal. Hopefully everything works. So this goes in first, obviously, because that came out last. So just press down like that. So that's in. Okay. And this handle came out second. that. Open. Okay. So one screw goes up here. It's the longest one. You took out the Phillips. So that goes up here first. Okay. Yeah. This cover snaps in. Be careful, there's a little tabs right here. I know this thing breaks. So that has to go in nice and snug. Okay. Then the little C-clip goes next. This thing here. Be careful not to lose that, because that flies off. And this rubber gasket goes in after that. Okay. Make sure you push it all the way down. That has to go over that C-clips. The C-clip has to be covered. Okay. And again, this thing here, that screws in. If you look at it, this threaded part is up here. But this thing, when you put it all the way down, it wobbles, because once you pass through that threaded line, it's supposed to wobble to release the steam. Okay. To take it out again, you pull up and turn counterclockwise until it grabs the thread. Otherwise, I was struggling to take this out. I go, how do you take this thing out? Then I realized you're supposed to lift this one up a little until it grabs the thread, and it pops out like that. And this goes on after that. So I'm gonna clean this, because I never cleaned it. I'm gonna clean this and put it back, and I'll show you after. So I clean this metal thing here, put it back in. And you grab this to tighten this top plastic piece. Because again, that thing wobbles, and I guess you don't have to take this plastic off, because that doesn't do nothing. Yeah, you don't have to take that off. So this
Box big enough for that?
Alright, so you don't have to take this plastic off to release this. That's it. Alright, and this goes in first.
How you doing? What's up?
Snaps in here.
What kind of car? Is it a truck? We can do it for you.
Let's see what happens. I'm gonna
Oh, the slingshot.
put the power plug on it.
안녕하세요.
He's here for a little
가이드로 더욱 편리하게 토크하세요. 뚜껑 결합 손잡이를
Oh,
열어
yeah. Bring it down.
원하시는 기능을 선택해 주세요. 100미.
That I gotta say. You have a radio, or you need to
Voila,
buy
it
one?
works.
쿠쿠가 맛있는 취사를 시작합니다.
Alright, how do I cancel this now?
I don't know what was in there.
I got no rice.
Bring it down and we'll take a look and we can give you full price.
I guess that's how you cancel it.
Hold on one second.
Thank you.